afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, another wondrous Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane. A 2 vs 2 on Pripyat awaits you today. A 2 vs 2. Yes, indeed. Been some time since we've had one of those. There was the Sunday night challenge today, but sadly, I didn't really get a lot of replays. Very sadly about that. And the ones that had didn't really fit the bill. They used it, but that was barely, and certainly did not really fit the concept of the ambush challenge, which is basically, using it a lot. It really ought to mean that the ability is in the forefront. It plays a large role, but it never quite did. In fact, in some cases, they used it once and then never again. That's just not cricket. And sadly, I had to say no. So instead we're getting as a good old 2 vs 2. It's been some time since we had one of those. Of course, I thought that was also be fitting to bring one in. And of course, next week's challenge, because I'm not just going to give up, is going to be the Field Officer Challenge. That is the German Field Officer, available in either Assault Support or in Joint Operations Doctrine. Use him thoroughly throughout the game. If you lose him, get him again. Use his abilities, and I want to see some clever, some interesting usage of him. Again, he should be at the forefront of things. Anyways, and of course send it to propagandacast@gmail.com and mark it Sunday Officer Challenge replay as well. Popping over here, we're having a look at Zuckerhund, fighting for the Germans, fighting for the 3rd SS Panzer Division Totenkopf. Supporting him shall be Nebel1942, doctrines available at Jäger Infantry, Spearhead Doctrine, Festung Armor, and Festung Support, Lightning Wall and Fortified Armor. Quite a bit of variety there. Last of the Mohicans for the Soviets. 50 Guards Mechanized Corps, Guard Rifle Combined, Guard Motor, Mechanized Support. So lots of guards here. In fact, also some emphasis on Marked Vehicle. And Xvirus with Guard Motor Coordination Tactics, Shock Motor and Shock Rifles. So less guards over there. Popping back to Zuckerhund with 2 Grenadiers setting up in a position at the center, wanting to cover both approaches here. Interesting setup right there, also a bit exposed as well. And we are noting here from Xvirus a support weapon Compania start, immediately pushing up with the Maxim, following up with the mortar. A bit more of an aggressive approach right there in the south. Last of the Mohicans, who from what I know, our last Mohican did not serve as a battalion commander for the Soviet army, is taking up approaches. Initial engagement between Grenadiers and conscripts. Whoever shall be the winner of that, I don't know, but the combat engineers here making a run for the central victory point are quickly getting a nasty surprise. Molotov's already up for the last of Mohicans, so clear there's going to be a bit of an infantry emphasis from him, at least initially. Mortars and Maxims advancing, combat engineers continue to serve as targets. And Grenadiers actually is suffering some nasty losses. That was quite unfortunate, but good move there by last of the Mohicans, who then ensured to win the fight. More Grenadier squads moving up. Not a lot of a cover, and that's a bit the problem here due to the Molotovs. They can actually sort of remove the last bit of cover the Germans actually have and gain the advantage. And we do see here that Zuckerhund is pulling back. At the same time, his MG42 is getting mortared already. We are noting here that Nebel is standing up pretty quickly with a sniper of his own. And also noting here, he's very quickly setting up telemines and moving up pretty aggressively. So some very, very interesting tactics and strategies going on here from Nebel. Definitely not the guy to hold back, it seems. So that's definitely fun. Mortar up as well now for Zuckerhund. 2 Grenadiers, MG Mortar. Granatenwerfer. Wie werft die Granate aus die Feind? Conscripts here pinned, suppressed, sniped at, shot at, forced retreat. Quite a bit of firepower being direct against him here, and there we go. Last of the Mohicans pushing up, going for a very nasty flank assault, just as Nebel is pushing up here, but the Grenadier squad could hit them in the flank. Well done, well done. MG42 setting up to cover this area, but also trying to do some work here. Conscripts loose in the rear lines of the Germans. Well done, Mohicans, well done. Grenadier squad force-away sniper moving up. And looks like a Grenadier squad here. Oh, MG's crew took a very severe beating from the Grenadiers and got wiped out. Bottom mortar from the Germans. I think actually wiped out one. Oh no, that was the Soviets. And he actually ended up crewing it. That would have been accidental. Oh dear, that was just an entire Grenadier squad gone. I suppose the only small benefit is he got the maximum, but I'm not entirely sure that was fully worth a full Grenadier squad. I certainly would not say it. Sniper though continues to inflict losses upon the Soviets. Mortar here getting overwhelmed by Pioneers and MG42. Another maximum quickly rolling in for Xvirus, and a field gun following up on that as well. Special Life Command up from Mohicans. And time to pop over to Nebel. With his one Pioneer squad, he's got no Grenadiers left, of course. A bit unfortunate. He's still got the Sniper and, of course, now 2 machine guns. Taking up, also going on, floating up the resources. He might want to work on that. Not really good to float that many resources at all. And that could prove to be a bit his Achilles heel. So it's Sniper quickly moving up. And looks like Nebel here realizes his Sniper is in a bit of exposed position. That is too far ahead. Pulls it back. Instead, we do see that Heinz, the not a sniper, gets shot by the Sniper.
MG element ready.
The also see a quick response here from the German mortar. And there we go. Almost getting the entire mortar crew with a sniper team right there. That was quite a fun round. Also, some very nice harassment going on here from Zuckerhund in the south. Good job, good job. Quickly detailing some small units to basically take away territory here and there. Good, good. Forces them to spread out. Snipers and mortars continue their nasty work. Another one bites the dust. Oh dear, that could be another maximum crew wiped out. Oh, will Fedorov here be one of the most luckiest machine gun crews in the world? Looks like it. Field gun marching up. Sniper still needs to be careful. Still needs to be careful. He is not God. He's not the last time I checked. And a combat in his squad flanking about here. That is a telemount, of course, won't affect infantry. And nice move there, going for the enemy's fuel point. Well done, well done. Like to make a nice coming up, and he's already taking up. He's not even used it. He's barely using resources. Come on, Nebel. Get it together. Get it together. If you do not know how to spend resources, just spend. Just click away. Scout Cup popping out here for Lastofthemohicans, aggressively pursuing the combat engineers. Although we do see a S-minefield setting up there to protect it. Definitely interesting, interesting. Some very interesting play going on here from the German players. Obviously also the Serbs got something up their sleeves. Heavy mortar arriving here for Xvirus, so that means of course the heavy mortar has arrived. And we're seeing Festung support here, and we're quickly seeing a mortar half-track. Die Granatenwerferwagen. And an MG42 stolen out of the hands of Nebel. He does need to work a bit better than these things. But now he also has a squad of Panzer Grenadiers. So let's see if we can do things a bit better. Flame for a half-track out here for Zuckerhund. Lots of mortaring going on here. Flame for half-track moving up. Flammens away. Getting buttoned up here. I'm using smoke being popped here. Well done, well done. Straight in front of the enemy's positions. Ooh, cheeky, cheeky. Though, of course, there's some other that gets sight of it all of a sudden. Shoots through due to reports, but still manages to escape. And mortar half-track firing off then incendiary round, burning away the MG crew. And looks like he might even try to get the sniper. Doesn't look like he quite has the luck for that. Nasty work though, nasty work. And some poor bastard lights up in flames.
Enemy is taking our territory.
Scout car rolling down the south.
We have contact.
And the sniper might want to get back to the front line. Just suggesting. And already moving on to the support armor core. And in fact something else. Caches. Lots of them in fact. To support them both, I suppose. Panzerfaust going off. Scout car took a nasty bit of damage from there, but still functional, still functional. Front line though is collapsing. And there we go. Oh, combat engineer squad went down.
Half-track ready. Awaiting orders.
And a minor Soviet mortar battery sitting up on the other side of the river. But time to have a look at the Lastofthemohicans, who's gone for guards motor as well. So they've both gone for the same doctrine. That's definitely not something I can recommend or condone. But let's see if they can at least use the doctrine somewhat fully. I mean, particularly considering one of them did have mechanized support as well. I mean, if they wanted something with, say, Mark vehicle, one of them could have gone for that. The other one could have gone for this. But, that's just my thought if that might have been what they're aiming at. And certainly that would be interesting to see two players with Mark vehicle, but also sort of more different doctrines. Mortar rounds flying left and right. Rive grenades as well. Lots of things filling up the skies. Points being secured. Flame for half-track receiving repairs. Gutes Arbeit. Oh! Aggressive flank going on there with the field gun. A bit ballsy, but it looks like Nebel might have figured out what's going on, or at least this is a bit cautious. And there we go, another field gun lighting onto flames. A bit unfortunate that.
Engineers are standing by.
And of course also been the presence of the heavy mortar that has a very high likelihood of actually knocking out the mortar half-track pretty quickly if you're not careful. And field gun blasting away. Advancing up here. Panzerguns with puncher shakes, not really a good idea, not really good idea. Quickly getting hammered there by the Soviet approach from Lastofthemohicans. While the field gun down south is wiped out, leaving it behind for the Germans to pick up. And another small harassment attempt here going in from Nebel's Panzergrenadiere. While the Soviets push on pretty severely in the north. A quick incendiary round to sort of stop things up. Does some damage, burns up a few Bolsheviks, but ultimately not enough, and these Panzermen just need to get out of there. Come on, Nebel! And his own sniper hiding in the bushes. Literally. More or less. And looks like, oh, Lastofthemohicans not paying attention. A clever little maneuver, hiding outside on the edge, behind enemy lines, and sniping the enemy sniper. That's actually pretty damn clever. While the opponent is more occupied with sort of attacking up here. And a veterancy free mortar for Zuckerhund. This is definitely interesting, definitely interesting. Flamethrower half-track here getting anti-tank grenaded, taking a bit of nasty damage. In the process, Grenadiers quickly following up. Pioneers. Mortar round continuing to imperil this position. And we see the first Panzerkampfwagen arriving here for Zuckerhund. Rolling ahead. Most southern positions being secured. Maximir close to getting wiped up. Panzer IV immediately encountering the field gun, taking a bit of nasty damage. Forced to pull back. And the mortar half-track at work here, actually gaining veterancy to itself. Good lord. So many target signs.
Yes, comrade.
Taking fire! 80 grenades now available to all conscripts.
And Panzer Grenadiers from Nebel setting up to flank there.
Ready. They've opened up.
And this conscript squad just needs to retreat. It's not going to do anything there, except get wasted and lose the experience. So that's a bit pointless to be honest. Oh! Continuous mortar firing, rather threatening to wipe out a few German squads there. And Zuckerhund has made good use of a Soviet mortar. And apparently a flamethrower and his crude. I mean, that's one of the weird things that can happen. Sometimes, I mean, one special member can actually end up joining a weapon crew like that, and that includes flamethrowers. I'm not entirely sure how that happens, but it does.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
Infantry has our range.
Looks like they're going to see if they can't hunt down the mortar after it needs to pull back. Pull back, Nebel.
Our territory is
And time to pop over to Xvirus with his 2 mortars, 2 field guns, and only 1 squad of infantry. He really needs to fix that one. Looks like he's heading towards the mechanized armor company. I like this SU-85s.
Guards report. Capture complete.
And German field gun now firing in response. Bit of a duel going on there, but neither side can hit the other. Mortar half-track tractor went down, but we do see the Nebel now has a flak panzer out in the field as well.
We are ready.
Panzer grenade is moving down with the Sturmgewehrs. Grenade going off, but fails to connect. Mortar crew wiped out there.
vehicles can be marked and targeted. We are losing supply.
Looks like someone got lucky, and guard squad got wiped out. Panzer Grenadier scores a victory for the Fatherland. Flammenpanzerwagen moving ahead. Also, fun fact, the Germans didn't just utilize smoke discharges for self-defense, they also had some that would launch out grenades. And I believe we're talking something like the S-mine, basically a fragmentation weapon to basically blast away infantry that got too close. A lot of German vehicles were actually equipped with those as well. Although later on I think they sort of stopped with it again. And an SU-76 actually arriving here for Xvirus. Fancy, fancy.
Sector under attack.
Standing by.
T-34's advancing, so finally some armor here arriving for the 15 Guards Mechanized Corps.
We have armor contact.
Guards Division usually being better equipped, at least in theory, although again I have seen some people dispute that and claim there really wasn't any difference, but in theory, at least on paper, they should be. Basically having more tanks and better tanks and more infantry. Though of course by 1944-45 all Soviet divisions were pretty much undermanned. And lots of aircraft going up. We're also seeing here smoke barrels going in from Nebel. Nebel's using Nebel! Smoke! Fritz, good lord!
You have orders.
He actually lives up to his namesake. It was a nice attempt, but sadly didn't quite work out this time around, but still bold, and I like it. Grenadiers here though need to retreat. They're brave, but they're also considerably exposed. More tanks quickly arriving here for the Lastofthemohicans, immediately using the self-repair ability. And the Sturmgeschütz has also arrived for Zuckerhund. And immediately opens up there on the advancing T-34. SU-76 also moving up. And immediately fires away a slightly heroic barrage. Germans are making good progress across most of the front, although now there's finally some counter-harassment going on in the south, so to make a bit of a push back.
SU-76 here.
Make it quick.
Xvirus though needs more infantry, he needs more bootski on the grounds.
Something built?
Ready.
Yes, comrade.
Guard squad ready.
Ooh, nice maneuver there, looks like he's about to set up an assault here to flank, but at the same time he's perhaps less prepared. There's an old Soviet weapon waiting for him in the hands of the Reich.
Down, comrades.
Incoming mortar rounds.
Another mortar attack up from Nebel. Zuckerhund popping smoke as well. SU-76 advances first thing. And a quick barrage straight into the advancing horde. This is actually a pretty bad idea to actually have the SU-76 lead the assault when probably a better T-34 would have been better, but instead he did it and it went down. But at the same time it did make an opening here for the T-34 to move in. Not sure about the other one, and we're seeing marked vehicle going up.
Defense of the Rodina.
An actual use of marked vehicle. Good lord. These Soviet players actually know what they're doing. Although so far, of course, they're going to have to penetrate the frontal armor of the Stug, which they're going to have a bit of trouble with. But there we go. One shot with marked vehicle takes the Stug down to half health. Again, that's the power of marked vehicle. It really increases the amount of damage your tanks or infantry do against the targeted vehicle. Which is really why it baffles me. So many Soviet players go for this doctrine, or for that matter, they would go for mechanized support, but never use the ability. Another push down in the south, Grenadiers, and looks like they might have hit a mine actually, or something else. Suffering some nasty losses, but there we go. Lastofthemohicans now really pushing the advantage. He's rolling in more tanks. Germans will push back again. Marked vehicle proving advantageous. Time to go to Zuckerhund again. Getting another Stug. Third says apparently in this area cannot afford to send one for one. There's Stugabteilung. And a bit of Panzers. Although I suppose depending on when in 1944 they wouldn't even have the Stugabteilung, since those would have been from around 1943, but apparently midway through 1944 even those were taken away from the Panzer divisions. And so any Stugs would have to be in the tank destroyer battalion if they were given any there, or in the Panzer Abteilungs, because Stugs by 1944 were also being used as basically replacement tanks, which again also rather hints at the versatility of the Stug. So there we go, 2 assault guns ready. So it continues to pressure. Lastofthemohicans now swinging his armour north. Though he should be a bit more aggressive, he does feel a bit all of a sudden lackadaisical. But there we go, hunting down infantry, doing quite a bit of damage, gaining some veterancy with them. Tankists on the loose amongst the fascists. And the Germans are certainly getting thrown back. And there we go, the Ostwind has been spotted and has been cornered. Slightly less well down there by Nebel. At the same time, Stug's advancing. Oh, Nebel left out. I mean, mortar half deck caught. Smoke going down in a desperate attempt to cover the retreat, but we also see marked vehicle. Why did he use marked vehicle on the half track? That's just silly. I think that was a misclick. I hope it was a misclick. And clever maneuver there. He knows the T-34 can't fight, but he's just going to use the others to keep the enemy occupied. Used his one to try and render the point neutral. He did lose a T-34, but still he might be able to at least counter this point neutral before escapes. And we're seeing repairs going up on his veteran T2 T-34. I would definitely say this is incredibly ballsy and might actually end up backfiring on him, sadly. As now the 2 Stugs are advancing, and there's no Soviets nearby to support it. No Su-85, for example, either. Guards infantry continues to press up here. So it counterattack with lots of Guards infantry. And oh dear, so much action. T-34 going to be forced to get away. And he's actually moving it in, but no, no, no. Lastofthemohicans, you're making a grave mistake. Smoke was popped. And right here, it went for the closest target to allow the other Stugs to actually get a shot off without being shot at. That was a good opportunity here for Lastofthemohicans. He went for it, but rather sadly he should have then pulled back rather than fully push for it, which allowed Zuckerhund to actually win out here. But still, the idea was nice, but he shouldn't have gone for it. But still, one has to commend the bravery in that situation. Heavy fighting in the centre. Machine guns, mortars, everything else firing in. Guards infantry simply getting punished.
We are suffering losses. Gunfire is ready.
Stug pulled back for repairs, the other one moving up. Third infantry making ready for another flank assault. I mean, these are aggressive Soviet players. They continue to haunt the flanks. In particular, Lastofthemohicans is really a nasty flanker. Really likes to play aggressively. That is good. And it rather seems like Xvirus is more playing the anvil, where Mr. Lastofthemohicans is actually the hammer. So that is definitely an interesting role to sort of thing to go on, but even then they're doing sort of quite nicely. But I still think Xvirus would benefit with a bit more infantry to sort of act as the anvil. But there you go, hitting Zuckerhund support positions in the rear, which of course means that his teammate Nebel might be forced to support him as well. So nice flank assault there from the Lastofthemohicans. Very nice, very nice. North continues to be rather tenuously held. Ostwind prepared. And this dude needs to be rather careful. But there we go, anti-tank grenade. No, T-34 advancing. And buttoning up a line. Ooh, pumping smoke, but I think actually disables the marked vehicle. Ostwind moving up to hit the rear. Other Stug is nowhere near inside to support. He could try and use target weak point. That would actually be a nice move. Target weak point, target weak point. Veterans, he chose Duke though. The Duke went down. Oh, if only he'd used Mark. Target weak point. I think he could have done it. He could have saved the Stuke. Still, managed a bit too Stuke. That's definitely going to help. So to continue their pressure, their assault. Katyusha's now arriving. No mines going on here. That would be nice. And also recruiting some machine guns and whatnot. But time to have a look at Nebel. Nebel. Lots of rockets. And continuing to float resources, even now when he also has access to the howitzer. And I really think that would be a good idea considering the sort of way everything's climbed up along this narrow route. A howitzer would be excellent for Nebel to get, and he can get it, so get it. And Panthers arriving as well, Panzerkampfwagen 5. Panzer. S-35 here being ambushed by Panzer Grenadiers. Ooh, point blank field gun barrage. And field gun encountering the Panther. And there we go, field gun dead.
We have a mortar team available for deployment. We are losing a sector.
Relief infantry, of course, also available. The question is, will actually utilize it? And another mortar half track. He really likes his mortar half tracks. He really, really likes them. Two Maxims covering the same spot. That seems a bit excessive. But a full-on armoured assault. There's nothing really here to hold at the moment. Only a single T-34 and some Guards infantry might be able to slow it down. Guards infantry already suffering severe beatings at the face of the advancing panzers. And looks like Nebel is really, really fond of his Panzer Grenadiers. And another Mark vehicle going on here. Again, rather consistent Soviet use of the ability. I like to see that. I really like to see that. And I'd actually planned it was either this, that is the field officer challenge for the next Sunday, or actually using Mark vehicle. But in the end I opted for the field officer. I suppose this makes up for the lack of Mark vehicle, otherwise another replays. Though I think the Soviets might benefit to getting up a munitions cast to sort of really support the ability. And continued harassment down south. Good job. Soviets really don't leave anything here to guard, even a single squad. And, ooh, Xvirus sending in 2 T-3045s and another heavy mortar crew now from the Last of the Mohicans. Panther upgraded. Heavy Panzer Corps up for Zuckerhund as well. And a bit of a nasty encounter here with the T-34. Actually getting killed by their own S-mines, being set off by the T-34. Nasty, nasty. And there we go, relief infantry up, but I don't really think the timing is good. I mean, note it doesn't actually replace a squad. It gives you an Ostrom squad for every 6 men you lose. There's a vital difference there. And there's pretty much no action otherwise going on, so this could actually end up being a wasted 120 munitions, which is rather sad. To put it simply, he's still got plenty of manpower. He could still go for a howitzer. I really think he should go for a howitzer. I would really like if he went for a howitzer. That does not seem to happen. Of course, his teammate going festering armor might benefit from a Pak 43, or perhaps a Command Panzer 4. Die Befehls Panzerwagen. Which is usually just a tank with more radio equipment in it. no dummy guns for the Germans. They left that to their enemies. Although the ever first command tank the Germans had was a rather more curious looking contraption made of a Panzer I. Basically a big moving block of metal. Looks a bit silly. Only had a machine gun. But the T-34 seems to be being held back in reserve here by Xvirus at the moment. More T-34 arriving for the last of the Mohicans. Looks like the last of the Mohicans might get ready for another armoured assault.
The fuel cache is finished.
And another Ostwind up here for Nebel. Looks like he has a rather clear idea of what sort of force he wants to do, and will get whatever he needs to replace the losses.
Ready for orders. Our forces increase.
And there we go, last of the Mohicans setting up for the assault. 2 T-34s will spearhead it. And popping over to last of the Mohicans, and time for the mid-game analysis. So the current situation is a bit, held up at the river. Something big's about to happen. We're seeing here Mohicans setting up for a flank assault. And who knows, that could even be some larger trick where they try to draw away enemies' attentions from the center, and what of course might then be happening in the center, and assault using 2 T-35s and what else can be thrown in there. That would definitely be quite an interesting move. And certainly for the Germans, the current situation is basically holding their side of the river, but of course also continuing to apply pressure down here in the soft underbelly of the Soviet army. And the victory point right down there, if they can keep this up, they can pretty much win. For the Soviets, it's about pushing the Germans away from the center and also applying some serious pressure up to the north, and they need to fortify it with mines. I mean, they keep getting pushed away, which is rather a problem. They have a tendency of slightly, going too far, overextending themselves, and then losing considerable resources in the process, and they need to do something about that. They need to mine stuff. They need to make it hard for the Germans to get back, and that is one of the purposes of mines for the Soviets. It's making it hard for the Germans to get back in the fight. Otherwise, I'm still disappointed waiting for the same doctrine had either of them split up. And again, I think mechanized support Guards motor would have been a nice combination, both without marked vehicle, but then they'd also have the ISU-152 for some more serious longer range support, and that would really make it difficult for the Germans to hold up there. But still, if they can pull off some sort of successful assault here and here, drawing away perhaps some things from here, because again, if they attack with 2 tanks and a bunch of infantry, that will require some serious attention from the Germans unless they fancy all of a sudden finding that in their rear. And of course, with now heavy to co-op for both players, of course, there's the option for Panthers, but I also think one of them should at least consider getting up a Sturmpanzer IV for more seriously dealing with any infantry. And otherwise, I think, Nebel should go for that howitzer and get it up, and perhaps, Mr. Zuckerhund should also consider Panzer IV for more defensive operations, because again, as long as it's in friendly territory, any in the same sector get a nice damage reduction bonus. But let us return to the fight. Let us see what this pseudo-Mohican can do. And we're actually seeing the mines going up there. We're seeing last of the Mohicans continue building up for that assault. Guards infantry squads being sent in to support. Also, they should get some munitions caches out, I think. And I think those Guards infantrymen will benefit from light machine guns. Flakpanzer at the front. Panzer Gun is about to do some harassment, but they're about to get a nasty surprise.
Do you need something?
So many howitzers now up. That's quite a bit of a mortar battery. And here we go, Panzer has been caught in the middle of the river in negative cover. Not really where you want to get caught when the T-34s arrive. We are now seeing that Zuckerhund is responding. He's actually gotten himself a Panther now as well. But we're also seeing here, it looks like Nebel is also taking the bait. He's rushing in all armor, and so is Zuckerhund. He's sending in his veterans in 2 Stug. The front line is getting opened up. And we're seeing now that last of the Mohicans is actually pulling back. He's pulling back. This might have all been a diversionary assault, or it might have been a real assault, but now of course there's another opportunity open up, and we're seeing here that Xvirus is taking it. The center has been opened up. Mortar rounds are bombarding the remaining static positions. T-34's following up. Panther setting up. Stug moving up. Guards infantry basically delaying the Germans. Tying them down. Tying them down. And right here we are seeing the remaining German forces here getting shattered. Mortar's in trouble. Panzer gun is in trouble. Tanks continue to remain here. They are not reacting. They've been completely caught up here in bashing the Soviets from the south. And they're actually moving in. They're moving in. Oh, they've completely bitten into it. 4 mortars. 4 mortars. Field guns are firing a barrage to hold back the advancing enemy infantry, but still, the Soviets have made progress. Now they just need to take the ground before it's too late. Stake their claim and all that. In the meanwhile, Zuckerhund continues a southern push in response to this. Lots of pioneers following up on the Panthers and the Stug, and a single squad of Panzer Grenadiers enjoying the view, and apparently one of them has leaky boots or something. I'm not sure. He seems a bit stuck in the water.
Mortar crew ready.
And that's just a rain of death now going on.
For orders.
Sadly, not really any sort of progress following up. Bit of a shame, bit of a shame. More armor arriving. Actually, Katusha, scratch that. Rather intense barraging going on. Incendiary barrage going on. The heavy mortar in response. Nebel having none of that. And there we go, wiping the entire thing up. At the same time, field gun takes a direct hit from one of the 120mm mortars. And goes down. And Sniper caught out in the open. What are you doing? What are you doing, Nebel? Ach du lieber. Sniper dead. Sniper tragically dead. And there we go, Befehlspanzer out. Also Panzerwerfer out. We're now seeing the Soviets been good, or Germans been good progress in the south, but we're also seeing that Lastofthemohicans is responding with a large force. Guards, infantry and T-34s. Mark vehicle is available. Proper usage of it could lead to victory. Instead it's being utilised somewhere up here against a Panther in the north. Panther here getting flanked. And looks like the IL-2 Sturmovik might go down. Zuckerhund going for the assault, going to hit the flank. T-34s are trying to hunt them down. T-85s are pulling back in response. A Panzer IV Befehlspanzer doesn't give quite much advantage on the offensive. Though of course it's still quite handy against infantry. Panther having suffered heavy engine damage. T-34s arriving. Stu caught between the two. T-34s arriving from the rear. Veteran T2 for the T-34. Veteran T2. Veteran T1 for the T-35. A brutal armoured slug out here in the centre. Germans are surrounded on all sides by T-34s. Befehlspanzer down. Panther down. I think no, T-35 down. Stug about to go down. Field gun up. T-35 down. Both T-35s are down. Panther could go down as well. Veterans with T-76 and ramming the other Panther. Bolt, and he actually managed to get the damage on the main gun. T-34 abandoned. So much smoke here. It's absolute chaos, absolute pandemonium. Panther down. Smoke called in to cover the retreat of the remaining Panther. So much smoke. Black, white, some greens as well, I think. Absolutely bloody skirmish right there. Panzerwerfer following up, wiping out several guardsmen in the process. Pioneers doing what they can, but they're clearly outgunned. And now T-34 on the loose, getting the mortar half track. Panther exposed, mortar in trouble. Should not be exposed its rear armour to the Ostwind. That might actually give the Ostwind a chance. There we go, actually penetrating. Oh dear, poor mistake here. The last Mohicans got overeager again. A veteran G3 T-34. No. No. Dear Lord, no. Last of the Mohicans is nice and aggressive, but trouble is he has a trouble reining it in. He might get the Panther though, he might get it. No, smoke popped in, smoke. Nope, did it. Panzerfaust here. And there we go, Panzerek finished off. He was so close, but again, he went too far ahead. Too far ahead with his lone T-34. And now Lastofthemohicans has barely anything left. Popping over to Xvirus. I should have done that 2 minutes ago, by the way. Both Soviet players have been absolutely mauled in this. Sturmovik crashing into the river. Good lord. Whew. I felt like I was commenting on a horse race. Or some kind of race, anyways. Bloody hell. That was definitely one of the more tense armoured fights I've seen in quite some time. So many tanks blown up, including the Stug. The brave Stug. And now we finally see the howitzer up Nebel. About bleeding damn time. So I'm a bit disappointed, I mean, to see that T-34 lost. Had he pulled back in time, he could probably have salvaged it and had a veteran T-34 on his side, full health, which would have been a huge asset. But sadly, again, it rather seems like that is slightly the problem for Lastofthemohicans. He really likes taking chances, but sometimes he doesn't quite know when to, realise the chance is lost or it's going to go wrong. But again, that's always something that can be learned, but still, I think that's what he needs to work on. Otherwise, he's really, grasped a lot of the good Soviet fundamentals, and he actually uses marked vehicle, which again, rather marks him as clearly someone who knows how to play the Soviets to a large extent.
The enemy is taking the show secure. We are down to 75 points.
Another actually far up here for Xvirus. Panzerwerfers continuing to werf the Panzers. Well, more specifically the werf the rockets. Still making some progress in the face of all of this. T-34 back in action. Panzer gunner is getting crushed right there.
Enemy HMG.
Nebel pushing forward in den Armes des Vaterlandes. Back to Zuckerhund. Nebel with his Panzerkampfwagen 5. Probably the later G model. There was also the earlier A model, but that one was really problematic in many ways. And would only been in the hands of an elite Panzer division like Choden Cup for a very short period of time until the better models arrived. Though generally the Choden Cup always had the issue that it suffered extremely high losses. It was really aggressive when it fought, and it really didn't care about losses, which sort of made it funny when you see all the German commanders in the memoir say, well, the Choden Cup always got the job done, and certainly, praising their SS division is always something you should be careful about, but, it seemed more fun when they do it with the division which always, got the high losses, and then they casually never mention the high losses that the division incurred, pretty much as a rule. It of course also meant that he never really had, the same cadre of experienced troops that some other divisions had. Like say the first or the second. Which certainly did not fill them with quite the same fervour. Bit of artillery going on here. Although, fun fact about the SS divisions, it was usually not because they actually had the best equipment available, in several cases they didn't. What usually had them stand out from other army divisions was really, in their sense, made them elite, was the fact they always had more infantry, they always had more artillery. More specifically, each regiment of infantry had one more battalion, and the artillery regiment, for example, also had an extra battery. So in that sense, they basically just had more weapons, more infantry, which of course gave them their advantage. They didn't, for example, have any sort of real special advantages in armor, except in 1943 when the Tigers first arrived and they each got their own company, but that was taken away from them again, formed into battalions. But more artillery going on here. Maxims, Su-85, so it's actually holding the centre now, actually holding most of the map. Germans have actually suffered quite a bit, but they had a slightly larger force, so they are rebounding, but still suffering some nasty losses. The Soviets are digging in now pretty hard. They're not intending on giving up. But neither are the Germans, obviously. Two Panthers here versus the two T-34s, including a veteran to 2-1. which certainly... Oh dear, I would have actually say might have allowed it to survive, but clearly got caught within both Panthers. And the Panther mocking the T-34. Surprise, surprise. The T-34 might be lethal, but that one wasn't. Or something like that. But still, good use of marked vehicle. I mean, it really allows them to do extra damage, of course. Now see how quickly the Panther went down to less than half health. I mean, even stuff like Guards Riflemen can then become dangerous. Nice use there of the Blitzkrieg, and the Panther actually went down in the end. Again, do not underestimate marked vehicle. I think it's really one of the most powerful abilities the Soviets have, if used properly. But there we go, Panther flanking the H-85. Again, just brutal armoured fights. And the H-85 actually ends up abandoned. Wow. And railway artillery support, Schwerer Gustav ready to fire a volley of pure death at the enemy. And a T-34 loses a Nebel. Stop being named Nebel. I keep wanting to call your mortar half track a Nebelwerfer. Anyways, a mortar half track is up and is down. He needs to be a bit more careful with his mortar half tracks. Just a bit, and we actually see Zuckerhund making off with the H-85. So Beute Panzerjäger up. Panther advancing. And another Panther out there for Nebel. Nebel moving ahead.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Also another Panther 4 command tank could be summoned in here. And ooh! Railway artillery! Railway artillery! Oh, there we go! Another hit, though not really killing anyone this time around. And, oh, Guards Infantry are straying a bit too close. They might regret that. And there we go, 5 of the poor bastards, or perhaps 4, wiped out. The very air knocked out of their lungs. Which was actually a very interesting effect that actually killed more people of the enemies of the that were actually attacked by such stuff like the Nebelwerfer. It was actually more the shock waves blasting their lungs to bits than the actual explosions. I think they actually killed them. So, fun fact there. Bundle grenade doing what I can. H-85, T-34, Veteran T2 Panther. Veteran T2. Points are ticking down for the Soviets. Can they make it? Can they make it? They're certainly pushing forwards. They could also sneak in something in the north. They're certainly holding the south, but there's also Germans making progress in the south. So, of course, that's less obvious. Less clear. And just so many mortars up from the Soviets. Both of them having 2 120mm mortars. That's some serious artillery. Of the lighter kind, that is. And now the Soviets just climbing up here, making themselves targets for the Panzerwerfer and the howitzer. They do need to be careful about that. Time to pop over to Nebel. So much death. I really think a Storm Panzer IV might have benefited either of them. By the way, Guards Infantry squad close to destruction. Panther for some reason rolling straight into the enemy base. Nebel seems pretty confident at the current situation. And the H-85 advancing. And there we go, H-85 taken up by Blitzing Panther. Heavy mortars just continue to fire away.
Panzer here. Kampfwagen is ready. Keep it short. Taking mortar fire.
T-34 down. Oh, direct hit on a guard squad with a howitzer. Ow. Oh, so much going on, so much going on. It's hard to keep track of anymore.
Our sector. 3.7786 is taken.
So hard to keep track of. In particular because it's been such a long fight.
Enemy contact. Infantry is on.
Punt continues to dig down, but there's some pretty aggressive movement going on here and there. And a second Pripyat Panzer arriving, although a bit late, I would say, for Zuckerhund.
We need orders. We are close to victory. Press on. The enemy has 25 points remaining.
Or rather looks like game over for the Soviets now.
I'm so sick of these Russian assholes. Claim a kill.
Bobbing over to the last of the Mohicans, who's pretty much got nothing left.
The enemy is about to be targeted. We have only 10 points remaining.
And might as well just speed up the last bit. And there we go, game over. A loss to the Soviet Union and the 15th Guards Mechanized Corps despite their best efforts, despite bringing in as much heavy mortars as they can. Brutal armoured fights ensue on this map. I mean, it's been some time since we've seen fights like that. Lots of destruction on both sides, lots of panzers lost, lots of tanks lost. Lots of usage of the Mark vehicle ability as well. Quite nice, quite nice. And some very nice aggressive play from both sides. The problem was that that last of the Mohicans really, played aggressively nice. The problem was though he tended to get a bit too aggressive, a bit too restless. He pushed too far ahead at times, and he didn't quite seem to know when to hold back, which rather resulted in losing some otherwise valuable veteran armor. I mean, stuff like veteran, 2 veterans, 3 T-34s was lost instead of holding them up slowly, really getting a serious force out like that. That, I think, rather cost them the game in the long run. That, and they both went for the same doctrine. I think, one of them should just have gone for guards motor, the other one should have gone for the mechanized support or something like that. And that really, I think, would have worked out much better for them. They'd still both have marked vehicle, but they also have some slight differences, and would have had access to the RSU-152, able to blast away at the other bastard from range, and also blast away the infantry a bit more efficiently. Also, they should have done more to mine the south. They should have done more to defend the south. And also, again, when they made the serious push they did, they never really, fortified the positions either with mines. So there were some problems there with Soviets. I mean, again, great play, but there were also some flaws undermining the entire thing in the longer run, which rather allowed the Germans to pull through in the end. And certainly, I mean, Nebel made a bunch of mistakes. He constantly flooded resources. He pushed out his mortar half-stacks too much as well. But at the same time, he made good use of his Panthers. He actually did something to preserve his tanks. So did Zuckerhund. I would like to see a bit more use of his doctrine, but otherwise, he did well. Command tanks, though, were a bit wasted on him, to be honest. But still, Stukes made good use of as well. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, want to subscribe, tell a friend. If you didn't, well, why not replay your own? Provide some feedback in the comments. This is Imperial Dane saying, cheers.